This is Manesh Patel from the EII Capital Group. Today is December 26, 2011. This is our weekly Ichimoku analysis for the currency market. This will be the last one for 2011. Anyways, this is our normal disclaimer. This is to state this is for educational use only. All charts that you're going to see are from Thinkorswim, TradeStation, or FreeStockCharts.com. Thinkorswim's from TD Ameritrade, by the way. Okay, here are my contact details. You could email me here at mpatel@eiicapital.com or at info@eiicapital.com. You can follow us on Twitter here at Ichimoku Trading, or you could go to our website ichimokutrade.com, register for free, and access any of our free videos that are available there. Okay, now we got a lot to cover, so let's go ahead and begin. What we're going to do is we're just going to sit there this time, do something a little different. We're going to start going down this FX list here and just start going for all the major currencies and kind of go from there. So the very first one we're going to go for is Australian CAD. If you look at Australian CAD, remember, left hand side is basically the daily time frame, right hand side is basically the weekly time frame. If you look at this, basically there's nothing going on in Australian CAD. On a daily it's in the cloud, so basically consolidating, and over here we're just sitting there. We were in an upward trend, but now we're just kind of consolidating since April, and big wide swings too. We had an opportunity here to break out, it never did a little fake breakout here and then kind of went down the other way, so that's not good at all for the bulls. And if you look here, there's nothing really going on as far as the daily is concerned. Australian Switzy, if you look at Australian Switzy, remember this is where the government intervened over here. About a 700 pip movement, roughly, depending on the currencies. But if you look at us on the daily time frame, it looks like it's trying to break out, but it's really not giving that many pips as far as the movement is concerned, and it's not going with vengeance at all as far as Australian currency is concerned. The weekly is basically bullish, but hasn't started a trend either. But this thing looks like it's trying to get back to par slowly, but not very, very fast. And that's pretty much the story for all the currencies out there. Dealing with the Swiss. So if you look here, let's go to Australian yen. If you look at Australian yen, basically over here, it's in the cloud here, so it's basically consolidating as far as daily is concerned. Here you could see that basically we started going downwards, then we came back up. We're kind of just consolidating this area right now, so we're kind of hanging around 80 right now and really not doing anything. So we're not doing anything at all. If this thing starts pushing downwards, it's got to get below 77. If it does, then it can have it starting a trend. But until then, it's really not going to do anything except consolidate. Okay, Australian USD. If you look at Australian USD, there's nothing really going on here on the Australian side. You could see on the weekly time frames basically consolidating. Nothing really there at all. It's got to break below 9,500 to basically start a trend to the downside, and it's really got to start breaking above 1.0400 to start a bullish trend. CAD Switzy. If you look at CAD Switzy, again, just like all the other Switzy pairs, nothing really going on, just slowly going up. On this one, we're actually right at a resistance on the daily time frame, which is a small one here, but it's double top, but looks like it's trying to break it, but nothing going on. If you look at the weekly, it's basically in the cloud. CAD Yen, more of an oil play here. If you look at it here, nothing really going on here because this is basically in the cloud on the daily time frame. And if you look here, this is a downward trend. It's kind of pulled back. Kind of key is exactly what's going to happen here. But as far as the weekly is concerned, we're kind of at a minor support resistance level right now. Things got to break below 73 to start a trend to the downside, and it's got to get above about 78.61 to even start looking for a bullish trend. Let's see, Switzy Yen, nothing really going on here. This is a bearish trend here, as you can see. We're kind of at a major resistance at 83.69. Key thing is what's going to happen here. If we basically break down from here, get below 82.89, then we're going to start breaking down lower and possibly start a trend. But if you look here on the weekly time frame, we're kind of there's a major weekly support going back over a year to $80.87. So if it does go, it's not going to be that much, probably about 200 or 300 pips. It's probably not worth the reward risk ratio as things are concerned. Euro Australian. If you look down here on the daily time frame, you can see it's starting a bearish trend here. It's actually breaking a resistance level, and you can see that easier on the weekly time frame here. You can see this goes back to over a year, kind of closed below that on a weekly basis last week, so that's good. Now you got to kind of see if it's going to follow through this week and keep on going down, or whether that was a fake breakout on a weekly time frame. But everything does look good as far as the weekly is concerned for Australian to get stronger compared to the euro. Euro CAD, same thing here. We could say that basically closed below the cloud, so sentiment is now bearish for the first time on the weekly time frame. And you can see on the daily, basically we are in a bearish trend. It is a little oversold, not that much, so that does have a potential to keep on moving down. But sooner or later, this thing needs a pullback before it could continue to resume to go down. Okay, so just watch for this one closely. Euro Switzy. Really nothing going on there, so nothing to even discuss on that one. Euro Pound. If you look at Euro Pound, look at this big movement over here 2 weeks ago, where basically the pound got stronger against the euro. It basically started a sentiment really strong to the bearish side. You could see we kind of got down to a weekly support level here and bounced off that, and you could kind of see that here where we are trending here, but it is in the pullback phase right now because it got oversold. So a little pullback here is kind of needed. Pullback level is going to be 83.91 and 84.83. 84.83 is probably the best one to look for. If it gets there, then we'll start looking for opportunities to go short if it holds at that level. If you look at Euro Yen, basically you could see from the weekly time frame we got to a major support here. Question is, are we going to break it? The daily looks really good to start breaking it here. It's at a minor resistance level right now. A major resistance level is going to be 103.37, and that's got to hold in order for that trend to continue to go down. Let's see. We did Euro Yen, Euro USD. Interesting one here. You could see we kind of got back to a weekly support level here as far as the Ichimoku is concerned. We're also oversold scenario kind of getting into in a weekly time frame. Things are kind of getting out of whack. So we definitely need some type of pullback on the weekly time frame. It doesn't have to be a major one, but a minor one's definitely needed. If you look at the daily time frame here, everything is basically looking good for as far as the trend is concerned. The major resistance level that this thing has to hold for the trend to stay intact is 32.80. So that's key there. Pound Australian. If you look at Pound Australian, really doing nothing as far as the weekly is concerned, just consolidating here. It was a downward trend. Now we're just kind of consolidating between a huge range here, between 1.6348 and basically down here at 1.4814. It's close to not even about 1500 pip plus range. If you look here on the daily time frame here, we moved down, we pulled back to a major resistance level 1.5610, and we kind of held that. Now we're going down, retesting this pivot low here. If we break that pivot low, then we have a possibility of starting a trend downward. So that's going to be a key level here is 5200. So that's, watch out for that one. Pound CAD, really nothing going on. We're in the cloud here and really consolidating here. So this is just consolidating and nothing really going on. Pound Switzy, really nothing going on there. Pound Yen, nothing really going on here. You can see a bearish trend here. It's pulled back, trying to retest this pivot low and kind of hesitating, which is not good. So we're just consolidating here, and you can see that from the daily time frame where we're just sitting there consolidating back and forth and nothing really going on there. Pound USD, nothing really going on here as far as the daily is concerned. We are bearish. If we sit there and break 5400, then we're going to sit there and probably start a trend to the downside, and it'll be very strong. So just watch out for that one. New Zealand CAD. If you look at New Zealand CAD, nothing really going on. It's just consolidating between two time frames. And let's go New Zealand Switzy. New Zealand Switzy, just like all the other Switzy pairs, on this one we're kind of at a major resistance level right now on the daily time frame, which equates to a minor on the weekly. We are, since we closed last week, above the clouds, so the sentiment is bullish for the first time in a while for the New Zealand Switzy. But really, I kind of hesitate in doing anything with the Switzy pairs at all. let's see, New Zealand yen. New Zealand yen, if you look at it, really doing nothing at all. So just consolidating. New Zealand USD. If you look at New Zealand USD, really doing nothing at all. We're in the cloud here on the weekly time frame, so that means we're consolidating. On a daily, we're just doing nothing, so nothing there at all. US CAD. Okay, if you look at US CAD, really nothing going on here. We started a bullish movement here where sentiment got changed. We had opportunity to start a trend here, really didn't happen, and we're kind of just slowly trickling down, and we're basically entering consolidation patterns, getting tighter and tighter and tighter. This thing's going to blow one way or another. Major support level is going to be 1.000 par, and resistance level, believe it or not, is going to be 1.600. But we gotta wait to see exactly what's going to happen on that one. U.S. Switzy, nothing really going on. Remember, the Switzy pair is kind of one that's this chart messed up. U.S. yen here, which sentiment is bullish, which is consolidating here. If this thing could sit there and break 78.50, then we could possibly start a trend to the top side. 78.60. We could possibly start a trend to the top side, and you could see that this was a downward move that consolidated, then moved it down another leg. Now we're just sitting there consolidating. Nothing really going on. It's not going to start a bullish trend as far as the weeklies for a long time, but we could get a bullish trend on the daily, which would be a minor pullback on the weekly. I think that's it. We covered all the major pairs we could see here. If you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to email us. Again, our contact details are right here. So I'll see you next week.